sat on the park bench, the weight of the world pressing down on his chest. His phone, once a lifeline to endless conversations, now felt like a mocking reminder of what he had lost. The notification that had once lit up his face now bore the words he dreaded. "I think we need to end this." It wasn't sudden, he knew it had been coming. The late replies, the lack of interest in his stories, the silences that stretched longer than comfortable. But even knowing couldn't dull the sting when Zara, the girl he had loved for 2 years, finally decided to walk away. He felt anchored in that moment on the park bench, wondering how the world seemed so unchanged while his own world was crumbling. Around him, people laughed and jogged, their lives seemingly untouched by heartbreak. Ayaan envied their ease, their certainty in the simplicity of another day. It was then he remembered something his grandfather often said: "When you lose yourself, you find yourself." It always sounded like one of those cryptic life lessons he never quite grasped, but maybe now is the time to truly understand it. Stirred by a sudden resolve, Ayaan stood up, pocketing his phone, and took a deep breath as if to inhale courage with the unknown. Wandering along the park's winding paths, he observed life around him. A squirrel chattered cheekily on a nearby tree, a couple engaged in a tender embrace, an elderly man feeding breadcrumbs to pigeons, each a story, a life moving forward. And in these moments, he started recognizing the beauty in things previously overlooked. Determined to break free from the shackles of regret, Ayaan found himself at the little bookstore he'd often passed but never entered. The warm scent of aging paper and ink enveloped him, and a charming bell above the door announced his arrival. For once, the solitude in his heart didn't feel so daunting. Surrounded by books and stories of countless lives, he realized that every ending is simultaneously a beginning. Here, he started picking up pieces of inspiration. A battered copy of The Alchemist caught his eye. It spoke of journeys and the importance of finding oneself through trials. Smiling, he knew this was what he needed. In the weeks that followed, Ayaan devoted himself to writing, a passion rekindled. He poured his emotions into words, experimenting with tales of magic, heartache, and redemption. Slowly, the pages he filled began to illuminate his own path. The story he lived became the one he wanted to tell, and in that process he realized the boy who thought he had lost everything had actually found himself anew.